Hello and welcome back to a new video from StudentSOS. I just wanted to do a really short video this afternoon about doing something that you're passionate about. Now, it's a shame really because passions are considered to be a bit of a dirty word in the UK. Certainly that's how I feel anyway. And that's a pity because really the idea is that if you do something that you're passionate about and that you're interested in, you'll never really work a day in your whole life. Now that sounds like a very odd thing to talk about to young people, but I think what you need to do is try to find your passion early, because the sooner you find it, the easier the rest of your life will be. This can apply to students who are in year 9 trying to make decisions about what options to take. It can apply to students who wish to take A-levels and aren't sure which A-levels to take, or even in fact, it matters whether or not you decide to study A-levels. Do you want to go and do an apprenticeship instead? There's a huge hole in the workforce currently in terms of apprenticeship trained roles like carpentry and building. So whether or not going to university is the right thing for you personally has to be your decision. You need to think carefully about whether or not this is the right thing for you. What do you love? If there was something that when you got out of bed in the morning that you could do all day, every day, and it never feel like work, what is that thing for you? And it sounds really simple, but it's actually quite tricky. So have a think about that before you even start. The reason that I'm talking about this is because I've got a lot of year 12 students who are hoping to apply to university in the autumn. Now, after a really tricky year, some of their mock exams in the summer didn't go fantastically well. They're worried about predicted grades, whether they can take a resit again in September. I've already done a little video on that, on how to get back on track over the summer, ready for the start of year 13. So please take a look in the listings and subscribe and like this video so that you'll be notified of any further updates. But it's really important to think about where your passions lie. Where are your talents? What is your interest? It's really easy to be persuaded to study something because someone else said it was great, because your parents have done it, because somebody else said they think you'd be good at it, because you've seen it on television. There are loads of reasons why people decide to follow particular careers. And in reality, what we need to do is think about where does our purpose and our passion lie. So for me, teaching wasn't the first thing that I did. I was a research scientist and science was very much my thing, which is why what I teach now is science. But I accidentally ended up teaching, which is what happens to a lot of people. I did it as a little sideline while I was doing my research, and I enjoyed it, and I found that I got a lot of fulfillment out of working with young people and watching them succeed and helping them overcome obstacles. And I found a real purpose in what I do, which is why I'm here today. And as a result, what I do rarely feels like work. And you can also achieve that, but you have to be driven by your own passions and your own purpose. So some of the best ways I can suggest you do that is go out and try new things. Lots of people don't like to leave their comfort zone, and lots of people are worried about what if they fail. These things are not important. Failure is the road to success. The only way to succeed is to fail lots and lots of times. I realise that doesn't sound like it's very, very useful, or indeed doesn't necessarily sound like it's going to be a particularly easy road. And I would say that it isn't an easy road, but get comfortable with failing. It's all right to fail. In fact, it's really important to fail. Fail quickly, learn quickly. If you find out that you've done something and you don't enjoy it, that's fantastic, because now that's something you don't want to pursue, either as a career or as a hobby or whatever else. So try and do new things all the time, regardless of how old you are. So that's one way to find your purpose and your passion. How will you know when you found it? Because time will vanish. Time will just simply disappear. You will start working on whatever it is that you're working on that's your passion, and all of a sudden it's 5 hours later. And you may already have those things. Computer gaming, unfortunately, and sleeping don't count. Sorry about that. I'm directing that to a couple of people I know personally. But nevertheless, there are lots of skills that you will have from things that you do, hobbies and interests, and maybe work that you do already, that you can use and bring your passion to life and help it earn a living. I'm planning on doing a very short series on financial fitness for young people in the not too distant future. There is an absolute wealth of information on YouTube on finances, but they're not generally, I don't feel, directed at younger people and are not always relevant to younger people. So as part of what I do, one of my passions as well as teaching and science is financial education. And so I'm going to do a short series on that in the near future, but this is about choosing courses that are appropriate for you. Choose subjects you're interested in. Choose subjects that you like the teacher. It's not necessarily a terrible reason to do a subject. If it's a passion for you, the teacher's fantastic because they make you enthusiastic about their subject. That's fabulous. That's a great reason to do a subject. You'll do well in it because you'll want to do hard work in it. A-levels aren't easy, whatever subject you do, regardless of what people tell you. Some have more content in than others, but no A-levels are easy. They all require a lot of dedication and a lot of work outside of school. And if you don't enjoy the subject and you're not passionate about the subject, then you won't do well in the subject. The same at university. You'll end up leaving your course, which nowadays wasn't true when I went to university, but nowadays that'll cost you a lot of money to drop out of a course. It's super important for you to choose a course that you think will fulfill the opportunities for your passions, your interests. Maybe you're thinking about the career afterwards, but maybe that you're not, maybe you don't know. Lots of young people I work with and talk to have no idea what they'd like to do when they finish their degrees or they finish their education, and that's absolutely fine. But it becomes even more important that your degree choice then is something that you really, really want to study, that you find absolutely fascinating. Doesn't matter what it is, it's what's fascinating to you. The next thing to look at is to look at how the course is taught. So for more vocational courses, including medicine, then some of the universities have a much more theoretical base as to how they teach their courses, and others have a much more practical base, and you need to think about what works to your skill set. So if you are a book learner and you're a memorizer and all of these things, these are all fantastic skills, and consequently you may want to go to one of the more traditional universities where they do less hands-on and more theoretical teaching. Whereas you could be the complete opposite. And if that's the case, then you really want to look at some of the universities where you get to do a lot of practical work and that they assess your practical skills in lots and lots of different ways, which will lend itself to your strengths and it doesn't mean you'll do no theoretical work. And equally in the more theoretical courses, it doesn't mean you'll do no practical work. But if you look at the university websites, and when you're at open days or on virtual open days, as you probably are at the moment, then you can ask questions. What percentage of the course is hands-on and practical, vocational? What percentage of the course is theoretical? How are we assessed? Are we assessed in a practical way or in a theoretical way? Generally, it will be a combination of both. So look for what will work for you personally. This will give you the maximum success. Looking at universities, also look at where the university campus is based. Some of them are city centre based or town centre based campuses, and some of them are separate, quite some distance from the town centre. In fact, in Coventry we have Coventry City Centre, which is Coventry University's home, and we have Warwick University, which isn't in Warwick at all. It's on the edge of Coventry, and indeed it's quite some distance from the city centre if you're catching buses. And consequently, you may choose one university or the other because you prefer a city centre based campus, or you prefer a campus that is really set further away. One of the major advantages, I think, in my experience of away from city centre campuses, is they have to cater for all of your entertainment and needs of all sorts. So consider the setup of where you'll be living and studying when you're looking at universities as well. Also think about how far away you are from home. What's going to make you most comfortable? Which is going to give you the opportunity to thrive at university. So follow your passion. Think about what works for you. Don't worry about what your friends are doing. Don't worry about what people are saying to you is the best thing to do. Teachers, parents, they have your best interests at heart, but they are not you. You need to make that final decision to follow your passion. And I promise you, if you follow your passion, you'll never need to take a holiday from work. You may choose to, but you'll never need to, because you'll love what you do. You'll never dread a Monday morning. Now, you possibly already have experience of dreading a Monday morning, but you'll never need to dread a Monday morning when you find your passion, whether you work for yourself or whether you work for somebody else, because you'll want to get up on Monday morning. This is what drives you. This is what's going to make you successful and happy, and generally it requires contribution to somebody else's life in some way or another. And that's how you make a difference. So try and spend a bit of time sitting and thinking, what are the things that I have to offer? What are my skills and talents and interests and passions? What are the things I have to offer other people? What will people pay me for? What will people pay me to know about? What do I know an enormous amount about already, or could know an enormous amount about if you haven't started on the learning journey in this subject area yet? What could I know an enormous amount about that I could share with other people, that they would pay for that knowledge and skill? With that said, I'd like to wish you all a fantastic day. I hope that you'll hit that subscribe button, because then we'll notify you of all new content that's arriving. Currently, much of the content is designed for Year 12, but that isn't exclusively going to be the case. We're going to move on to Year 11 material for moving into Year 12, and indeed Year 10 material for the GCSE. In addition, we're going to look at some 11 plus material, and there's also some more BMAT and UCAT material coming in the next few weeks. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe to be notified of new messages, and also we have a Patreon that will be linked down below. If you'd like to join that as well, it's a small subscription fee, and we'll offer you lots of exclusive content and also exclusive discounts. So thanks very much indeed, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Have a great day.